Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Living with Old BMWs. We're following on from yesterday, trying to get the central locking or keyless function of the central locking working on this E39 supercharged M5. What will be a lovely car one day once we get all these bugs and issues worked out, which I'd just like to say, it's been a year of continual problems with this car. Gotta love it. But it is going to be something special. Now, the video went up yesterday and we can sync remotes to this car, but for some reason they will not function as a keyless remote. They will do the sync confirmation, so you get the lock and unlock. But yeah, they'll never... One of them would work sometimes, and then the other one would just never work. There were quite a few suggestions that come through on yesterday's video on how to code them, how to sync them, and that comes about because there are 3 different methods that people use to sync the remotes. I've tried every single method. I should have been more clear about that yesterday. And it just doesn't work. You get the sync confirmation with every different version of a way to do it, but they just don't work afterwards. I've gone through. The car would not scan with IMPA for some reason. Something is stopping this car from working with IMPA. Maybe IMPA's just broken. But I've gone through and scanned it with ISTA, and we were getting a lot of issues. Now, I think the aftermarket Russian gauge causes a bit of an issue when you're trying to scan fault codes because it intercepts signals to the dash cluster, and a lot of the K-bus works through the dash cluster, and obviously that's intercepting signals, and I think it was causing an issue. I have now completely unwired that Russian gauge, and we now get communication with a few more modules. The errors that are coming up when we do a vehicle test with ISTA is here. So we've got IHKA AUC sensor. I don't know what that is. IHKA auxiliary water pump. I don't know what that is yet. The PDC acoustic generator front is off. Need to look into that. But I don't think that's going to be related to this issue. We also have basically all the faults with the radio because the radio system's been removed. We have IKE acoustic transmitter disconnected. Now, I think that's just a speaker that goes under there, which is currently disconnected. No communication with video module, no communication with onboard computer because they're not in the car. Then we've got an error for temp sensors in the seat heating for left and right. That's not going to work because it's got the seats in. Now, I did think about it earlier. Because this car has had the memory seats removed, is that what's stopping us from being able to synchronize a key? Because the keys do allocate to seat positions when you, like, if you use position 1 or 2, it'll actually affect how it works. So maybe it's because we don't have the proper seats in. It's not finalizing that function. Okay, I think I might be getting somewhere. Now, basically, when I was using IMPA before, I couldn't select this page here. I couldn't view any of this information. And it was because we still had the gauge connected. It definitely causes some sort of issue with the communication on the K-bus. Now, what it's just occurred to me is now I can actually view all this stuff. I wonder if, and you can see here, DWA active with remote control. So no, there's no remotes coded. What I might just try and do quickly is code the remotes again with the gauge bypassed. All right, I'm going to try that. Let's give that a go. Okay, so to code them, I'm going to go to ignition on for 2 seconds. Turn it off. Doors are unlocked. Hold unlock and hit lock 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Or maybe not. There it is. Took a little bit of extra push. We'll do the other one. Cool. Now, it should just work. But it doesn't. All right, let's open the door. Shut the door. No. Still no joy. What we can do now, we'll put the car back on. We'll go to that position. Then we'll go back to remote. DWA, sorry. And DWA active with remote control. Uncoded. maybe this doesn't mean what I think it means. And actually, I just thought I'd show you guys, because if you go body and then you want to view the remote controls, which must be the module for the remotes, it ain't there. So I need to find out what that module is. Okay, so I'm clutching at straws here, but we have a parts car. So what I've done, I've taken the GM module. That's that little sucker there. Now that controls a lot of the vehicle's central locking, the security system. So I'm going to plug the one in out of the parts car. We'll plug the battery back in and we'll see if it's any different. All right, let's see if we have a fire. Shouldn't make jokes like that. I can't afford to replace this car. Right. Okay, so GM module's in there. Car appears normal. I'll try and code a key, actually. Oh, shit, gotta shut doors. Okay, it took like a lot of presses, but we finally got there. We'll just try the other one. Hang on. The doors are... That door stayed locked. Okay, only the driver's door unlocked. All right, I just done it again, and for some reason, with this GM module, only the driver's door locks and unlocks, not the whole lot. So that's awesome. And this button works. So it unlocks everything. Still no keyless though. All right, so a lot of trial and error. There's been a few issues with the car, but we've got an issue with the keys. So these are the two keys that come for the E39. They have the E39 style blades on them. Here, I have one of the later E46 style keys, and I've just paired this to the car. And it works every time. So the issue is the radio frequency in here. As you can see on the back, they say 315, 434 megahertz, which is the same as this one. But we might need to do some delving and see if we can work out, might be able to modify these. Okay, so I just remembered that the BIM tool will do a frequency test. So this is the key that we just paired to the E39 and it works flawlessly. So we do a frequency test. Hang on, I have to push that again. There it is, okay. So if we push lock, if we hold lock, we get that 315. Unlock, guess you have to hold it for a few seconds. Unlock seems to be lower, between 280 and, that's really weird. Okay, this is the M3 key, which works every time on the M3. 315, 315, what? Okay, what if it's because it's been programmed? This is one of the E39 keys, which will start the car. We're just having trouble with the central locking. Okay, 315. 315, both buttons. We'll try the other one. Okay, that theory's out the window. They seem to be the correct frequency. All right, so this is going to be it. This is going to be the final conclusion to this video, I think. Right now, I have 4 keys. We have the original key, the 2 that were cut yesterday for this car, and a key that hasn't been cut for anything, but it was basically bought for E46s or the late model cars that have the different style blade. Now, I'm going to sync these 3 to this car, and then we'll see what works after it's been sunk, because that one worked when I tried it before. These 2 just won't work. Now, they all come up with the same frequency when I test them with BIM tool, they are bought from the same supplier. They should have the same internal chips. The only thing that should be different is the actual blade. But who knows? Who knows? When you spend so much money on these parts, who knows what you're going to get? All right, key on, key off. We'll pair this one first. Right, we got the lock. Pair this one. We got the lock. And the last one. Doesn't want to pair now. Oh, there it is. Okay, so they all went through and paired. Now let's open the door, close the door. That should finish the programming. Will this one work? No, does nothing. The other one that was cut yesterday does nothing. And will this one work? Yep. So, in conclusion, the joys of old stuff. There was a few issues with the car. That fuse was gone in the boot. We did check the GM module. I still can't work out why IMPA won't read the remote fob module. Can't work that out. The Russian gauge seems to block the way that IMPA and ISTA connect with the GM module, but here nor there, it's easier to bypass once you've worked out a way to do it. But the final nail in the coffin to stop me being able to get this working is these China keys seem to be defective. There's something going on with them. They just don't want to work properly. So, I wonder if the batteries are flat. Probably not. No, because they work. They output the signal to the BIM tool every time. All right, I'm going to end it off there, but that's the problem. That's why it didn't work. It wasn't the programming frequency. It isn't anything with the car. These two keys are now dodgy. Well, it was something with the car, but we fixed it. All right, guys. Even though it's not fixed, at least we know what it is. All right, we will catch you tomorrow. In fact, I got a bit of a surprise, sort of a surprise. I spent some money. We'll talk about it tomorrow.